What's up YouTube, this is Dragon and this is another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. So let's get to the battle at hand. Now this is a 6-on-6 battle. Yes, I know you guys have been requesting this and I wanted to get one out there because, well, I mean, why not have a 6-on-6? It's pretty nice. So being that this is a 6-on-6 battle, I can just choose one initial Pokemon and start from there. And oh, okay, check that out. My opponent doesn't start out with the Mega Beedrill like I expected, and he goes straight into the Crocodile. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go into my Fortress because I don't want to be hit by that Pokemon. And this Pokemon is most likely Scarfed, so I don't want to, you know, be in that situation. So you know what, the best choice, I was thinking about choosing my Fortress first, but he does have the Blastoise, which is a bit of a concern of mine. But, well, it's up to my opponent to do whatever he wants to do, so yeah. Oh, by the way, this is a subscriber. His name is Strax, it's right there, so yeah. Battling my subscribers. Okay, that's good. So he didn't use Pursuit. Pursuit wouldn't really have been a good play anyway. Knockoff is probably what's going to come next. Oh, he withdrew. Okay. I guess maybe my opponent might not necessarily be... Okay, he goes to the Blastoise. So maybe my opponent is probably not Scarfed, or he could be bluffing it. I'm not sure. So with that, because I am now facing a Blastoise, I definitely don't want to be, you know, putting myself in a situation where, you know, my Fortress will take unnecessary damage. So I'm now going to... Let me check something real quick. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to go into my Blissey. And yes, the Scald is here. And it looks like it's not a Mega Blastoise. Okay. And good, that's no burn. Let's see. If I were my opponent, I would go into the Beedrill because the Beedrill is the best play. You know what? I'm gonna go for Flamethrower, predicting him to go into the Beedrill because my opponent probably knows how much I like using Toxic on this Blissey. So I'm gonna go for Flamethrower. Actually, no. But if he goes into the Chandelure, then I'll know that he has Trick. Huh. This is a bit of a tough one. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna use Flamethrower. Yeah. I'm gonna use Flamethrower, predicting him to... Oh, okay. He goes for the Toxic. Well, you know what? Maybe I should have just went for the Toxic anyway, because that would have been a better play. Alright, so... Well, this inhibits my opponent from wanting to go into the Beedrill because he sees me using Flamethrower, so he may feel a bit apprehensive to go straight into Beedrill. But this is a bit of a problem because, you know, I am... Well, let's see. All of his Pokemon are susceptible to Toxic except for the Beedrill. So that is a thing. Okay. Most likely he is going to switch at this point because, like, having a Blastoise stay in on a Blissey, I mean, he's got nothing here. There's nothing that he can do in the situation. He might even go into, possibly the Machamp. The Machamp seems like the most probable play at this point. I mean, I don't see why not. Especially, you know, seeing me using Flamethrower in the manner in which I am, it would be no point in him... It would be a more safer play to go into the Machamp instead of the Mega Beedrill. So, okay, withdrew. So let's see, who is he going to go into? It is the Chandelure. That Chandelure is probably tricked. There is no reason whatsoever for somebody to switch a Chandelure into a Blissey. That's just I'm not falling for that propaganda. That's just ridiculous. Okay, so who am I going to switch into to absorb the Trick? You know what? he's definitely not going to use Grass Knot. So I'm going to go into my Blastoise, and I'll be able to lock my opponent into Trick by going into my Blastoise, because you know he's not gonna use if he uses Flamethrower, it's not gonna be very effective. He's not gonna use Shadow Ball because it's a Blissey and won't do any damage. So I'm gonna go into my Blastoise to take any potential attack this Pokemon can do to me. This is very suspicious. I mean, it's extremely suspicious for him to switch a Chandelure out into a Blissey, or maybe he's not aware of my Toxic. Huh. But then again, who isn't necessarily aware of a Blissey using Toxic against his Pokemon? But you know what? I'm just going to make the safer play, and I'm going to switch to my Blastoise. I'm expecting Trick, or maybe Flamethrower. It depends. Oh, he goes for the Fire Blast. That's cool. Well, seeing that he does go for the Fire Blast, and that looks like Specs. Critical hit. Never mind. It wasn't Specs. It was just a critical hit. Okay. Yeah, that hurt quite a bit. That hurt me quite a bit. Okay, now I'm going to go back into my Blissey. Man, that crit is really, really damaging. Very damaging. Don't want my Mega Blastoise taking too much damage. If anything, I don't really want my Blastoise taking damage outside of its Mega form. Very debilitating. Ah, man, that crit really hurt. So, okay. Yeah, so my opponent is Choice. Definitely Choice. Alright, so... okay, so he predicted me to go back into the Blissey. Yeah, see, this is what happens when people watch how you play. You know, they start knowing exactly what you're going to do. But then again, it just makes sense for me to go back to my Blissey. So... ooh. If I were my opponent, you know, I wish I had my Gligar on this team, but I don't. You know, for reasons. So, let's see. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go into my Fortress, because you know it's the only Pokemon that can really take a Dynamic Punch. It probably won't be able to take. Oh, good, it goes for the knockoff. That's cool. It knocks off my leftovers. So now I'll be able to go for Stealth Rocks. And hopefully I'll be able to eat this next Dynamic Punch and not suffer any confusion procs. Oh, it withdrew. Okay. Wow, my opponent really is oh, it went to the Blastoise. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. So I'm a Volt Switch. He might go for the Rapid Spin now because he does have a oh, okay, he goes for the Scald. Well, that's not bad. But he does have access to Rapid Spin though. And this is a max health points, max special defense Fortress, so yeah, that's gonna do a lot of damage. Okay, and that Volt Switch did quite a bit as well, interestingly enough. So let's see, from here, a good choice for me would be to go into my Noivern. Yeah, Noivern would be able to do a lot of damage right now. I don't think a Brave Bird could kill that. Nah, no, not a Blastoise. Not a Blastoise from that range. I don't think so. So I'm gonna go into my Noivern, and I'm gonna go for a Draco Meteor because I'm gonna most likely have to switch regardless. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a Draco Meteor because I'll be able to for sure kill one of his Pokemon from this range. So that's gonna be good. Someone's gonna die. Someone on his team is gonna die. And something crazy is in my eye right now. Like, it's killing me. Like, I could barely even blink in peace. Okay, so, you know, he might switch to somebody for a Death Fodder, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know, that's what I like about Volt Switch. You know, it goes, because Fortress is so slow, it just compels my opponent to, let me see, he's going to go into the Umbreon. Okay. He's going to go into the Umbreon to possibly take the Draco Meteor. But this is Choice Specs Draco Meteor, so it's going to do a lot of damage. Hopefully it's not like max special defense Umbreon. Ah, that's a crit. Wow. That was a crit. That is definitely probably like max special defense Umbreon. But yeah, that crit is, that was a crucial crit. Man, I'd be upset if that were me, to be honest. I mean, that crit, that's not even cool, man. Probably gonna go for Protect so he can get a little bit of health back. Okay, goes for Protect. I think I'll be able to kill him from this range with another Draco Meteor. So I'm gonna stay in and go for it again. And let's see. Yeah, Draco Meteor should be able to kill from this range. Also, don't want to use too many Draco Meteors, because that is a bit of an issue. So, let's see. Will my opponent stay in and sacrifice the Umbreon? If I can kill this Umbreon from here, that would be really good, because this Umbreon is his Wish and Heal Bell, and it's basically his health regen for his team, so don't want to deal with that. Man, that crit is pretty serious, man. But then again, I guess in a relative sense, my Blastoise got crit, so it's a bit even. And my Blastoise could do a lot of damage to his team. So, that's the thing. Alright, so that's a Draco Meteor. And is it going to take out the Umbreon? Wow, no. Not at all. Wish. That sucks. Well, knowing that my opponent is definitely going to protect from this point, I am going to, let's see. I'm gonna go into, yeah, I'm gonna go into my Fortress. Yeah, I'm gonna go into my Fortress and then lay out some spikes. And oh, he goes for Foul Play. Okay, that's cool. You know, either I'll go straight for Volt Switch again, because I know he's gonna switch. I know, you know what? It just makes sense. I'm gonna go for Volt Switch because his Blastoise took enough damage to possibly be KO. Actually, I'm just gonna go for Volt Switch because most likely my opponent is gonna go back into the Blastoise to prevent me from setting up some more. So I'm a Volt Switch from here. Okay, goes for the Wish. And of course that does nothing because that's a special attack. So let's see. Who would be a good switch in this situation? Being that this is a very specially defensive Umbreon, I believe, you know what? I'm going to go into Crobat instead. And I'm going to U-turn on the Crobat. Also, I want to see how much U-turn does to this Umbreon. If he decides to, you know, stay in. But if U-turn does a significant amount, then okay, actually, we might just go back into the Blastoise. You know, I should have just used. Oh, it's Wily. Okay. Yeah, the Intimidate. Yeah, I'm glad I went for the U-turn because, you know, regardless, he's gonna get his health back. So yeah, Yeah, Brave Bird wouldn't have been able to kill. And, oh, Rocky Helmet. So that's his item. Okay. Alright. Very interesting. Very interesting. So now that I know he has a Rocky Helmet, that's definitely going to make this a bit more easier for me. So, let's see. Okay, the Machamp probably has Bullet Punch, so I can't necessarily go into my Cloyster yet. So, I'm going to go into my Noivern, because my Noivern can definitely do a lot of damage to this Pokemon. And now he gets the Wish. Now this time I'm going to use Hurricane. Choice Specs Hurricane should, I believe, KO this Pokemon, and hopefully the Hurricane hits. Wow, we haven't killed anyone yet. Like, my goodness, somebody needs to die. Somebody needs to die on this team. Okay, well, at the very least, I'm glad that his let's see, Hurricane hits, baby. Choice Specs Hurricane. That's going to, and he got the confusion. 50% confusion chance. And will he hurt himself in confusion? Yes, he hurts himself in confusion. That's real nice. Finally, someone is going to die, and it's not me. So I'm gonna go for the Hurricane again, and I hit the Hurricane. Good, that is a threat down. That feels nice. That feels real nice. I was worried that he'll go back into the Umbreon and take the Draco Meteor again, which would have, I think, been a better play, but hey, he still died. So, what was I saying? I said something like, about, I think I was worried about something like that. I don't know, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yes, in any case, this puts my opponent in a precarious position because, well, I guess, you know, his main Pokemon died. Ah, that's right. You know what I like about Showdown? You could, like, hover over the opponent's Pokemon, you see how much health they have. Because if I knew that Umbreon had this amount of health, I would have just went straight for the Draco Meteor anyway. Huh. But I know I'll be able to take a foul play, so I'm going to go for the Hurricane again. Because, actually, I don't think Hurricane can kill from this range. So I don't think it would really make much of a difference. Huh. And let's see, Noivern. Yeah, Noivern is very important for this team. I don't really want Noivern taking too much damage. So I'm gonna go to my Blissey instead. And yeah, I'm gonna go to my Blissey instead, and then I'm gonna Toxic my opponent from this point. Yeah, that'll be a better play. Oh, okay, foul play. Yeah, foul play is definitely not going to do anything to Blissey. And that was even a crit. Yeah. My opponent's making some really good plays here. That is definitely a certainty. Some really good plays, especially in the beginning. Predicting me to go into my Blastoise. That was really good. Thing is, I'm just not sure if my opponent was what you call it, was predicting me to go into Blastoise and then not using Trick, although he has Trick. You know, because some people, they like to do that. They like to... Okay. Toxic. There we go. Some people, they like to do that. They like to put in their choice, their potentially choice Pokemon, knowing that you would think that it's choice. And then afterwards, then they switch into a different Pokemon in the interim. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's the thing. Okay, so if I were my opponent, I would probably switch into Beedrill. I wouldn't use Foul Play. I just wouldn't use Foul Play in this situation. It doesn't make sense. I would switch. Everything is telling me to switch. Everything. So everything is telling me my opponent is going to switch and not use Foul Play. if my opponent uses foul play now, that is top tier. So I'm gonna make a bit of a risky play, and I'm gonna go into my Crobat. Oh my god. Ah. Weird thing out my eye. I'm gonna go into my Crobat, predicting a switch possibly into the Mega Beedrill. And seeing that I switched first, I really hope my opponent is probably gonna use Heal Bell. That's good. Okay. That makes me feel real nice. Alright. So I don't have to worry about being utterly destroyed. That's nice. Okay, so he has the Heal Bell and everything. So with that, I'm definitely going to go for a U-turn because... Okay. He withdrew. So... He goes into the Blastoise. That's good. Still not much of an issue with me. Because... There we go. Okay, ironically, a Brave Bird would have done a lot of damage and it would have killed the Blastoise. But... You know... So let's see. I'm gonna go into my own Blastoise and I'm going to Aura Sphere. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna use Aura Sphere. He might predict me to use Aura Sphere and then go into a Chandelure. And you know, if he does that, then you know what, I accept that. So I'm gonna Mega Evolve, Aura Sphere, and good. So he stays in, which means that I definitely will be able to KO this Blastoise from this range. Okay. And okay, yeah. My Blastoise uses Aura Sphere. That should be a KO. Yes. That's a KO. That is definitely a KO. Okay. So, you know, let me put on a different set of music. Because why not? This one sounds nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so he goes to the Chandelure. I'm predicting possibly the Shadow Ball. You know, I'm not even going to switch because I wouldn't gain anything by switching. If anything, I could just stay in and go back to... I'm going to go for, let's see, Dark Pulse or Water Pulse. Yeah, Water Pulse is the better play, given his team makeup. And let's see. Well, if he is choice in some way, and he goes for anything but Shadow Ball, then I don't really have much to worry about. So, we're about to find out. And I know I won't be able to take an Energy Ball. You know, if he goes for Energy Ball, that would be, like, the best thing for me. Oh, Trick! I told you! I told you my opponent has Trick. I knew it! My opponent predicted me to go back into my Blissey at this point, but no. I decided to keep my Blastoise more as death fodder, and I knew it. That was a really good play. Really good play. My opponent predicted me to switch into my Blastoise initially. So, you know, it covered all bases. You know, that was really good. That was really good. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to go for Water Pulse again. Oh, cool. Blastoise is faster. And that's going to do a lot of damage because... Okay, Dynamic Punch. Yeah. Well, it's not going to do a lot of damage, but you know. Oh, wow. Blastoise is still alive. Well, we're about to find out if this Brock Lesnar has Bullet Punch. Which would mean that my Cloyster... Yep, there it is. My Cloyster would have just gotten destroyed. Oh, he lives. He lives. Will Blastoise hurt itself in confusion? No. Blastoise will not. So that's going to be even more damage against that Pokemon. And of course the Bullet Punch will come again. Okay. So let's see. Blastoise, Crocodile, Chandelure, and I can go into my Crobat from here. Crobat should be able to... Crobat might be able to sweep from this range. Yes, I'm gonna go for Brave Bird. My opponent might go for Bullet Punch just to do a little bit of damage from this range. Because if he switches, somebody's going to get 2-hit KO'd no matter what. For O-Code. And my Crobat is definitely going to be faster than my champ. So, okay, yeah. Goes for Bullet Punch to do just as much damage as possible. Wow, that did a lot of damage. Then again, it is my champ. So, this Brave Bird coming in against my champ, that's going to finish it off. Now, like a lot of you who are watching, you may think like, oh wow, you know, it's kind of bad for like what's happening to the opponent. But if you take into consideration like me hitting the Hurricane, for instance, like if I missed that Hurricane, right, then my opponent would have most likely easily killed my Noivern, and then he was Intimidate, right? He could have. My opponent most likely would have been winning from that point, honestly. You know, given the situation. So I'm gonna go for Brave Bird again, and I'm just gonna hope that my opponent is what you call it? Adamant instead of Jolly. Because if my opponent's Beedrill is Jolly, then it's gonna be faster. And if it's not Jolly, then I'll be 1 speed faster because I'm a Jolly Crobat. So, yeah. I'm gonna go for Brave Bird here. And we're about to find out. Yes, my opponent is Jolly max attack. And that U-turn, that's gonna be a quad resist. So, somebody's going to get hit real hard by Brave Bird. Honestly, I kind of hope it's the Umbreon. And good, it's going to be the Umbreon. Okay, and a little bit of damage from the Stealth Rocks. Okay. And let's see, will Brave Bird be a... Yes, Brave Bird will definitely be a 2-hit KO. Definitely. So the Umbreon isn't necessarily defensive, but it's very specially defensive. It took a crit Draco Meteor and ate it for breakfast. That is special defensive power. So I'm going to go for the Brave Bird one more time. And my opponent goes for the Protect. Okay. This is why I love Choice Banded Brave Bird. Choice Banded Brave Bird in UU, I think, is one of the most strongest forces that anybody could deal with. I mean, it is... My goodness, it is so powerful. Alright, and now what I kind of consider the biggest threat in his team is now dead. The Brave Bird will definitely be able to handle that Umbreon. And Crobat is going to Seppuku. For those of you that don't know, Seppuku is suicide in Japanese. So, let's see. My opponent's last Pokemon is the... let's see. I can just go for the, yeah. I can go for the Cloyster from here and go for the Icicle Spear. Right, last Pokemon is Beedrill. Okay, yeah, I can just go for the Icicle Spear from here, and that would call it a day. Because I also have the Focus Sash from this Pokemon, so not worried about that as well. Okay, Poison Jab. So, let's see. Wow, that did a lot of damage to a very defensive Cloyster. Okay, that's one. Yeah, the Icicle Spear is definitely going to finish off this Pokemon. And that was a good game. Very well played by my opponent. Made some really nice moves. You could tell that my opponent is quite experienced because one thing I've noticed is that people that like to use the move Trick are very experienced in the way that they conduct their battles and their strategies. So especially like when they like fake you out and they don't use Trick initially because they're predicting you to switch it to another Pokemon to predict the trick that they might do. Yeah, it's yeah, my opponent is very skilled. The only reason why that things turned out the way that they did is because I think maybe about 2 or 3 moves, like maybe even the Draco Meteor critting in the manner in which it did, because if it didn't crit, then I wouldn't have stayed in, then my opponent wouldn't have had to have, well, my opponent would have gone for the wish regardless, but then probably could have meandered around and done a couple of different things. But yeah, you know, like, it's really just like 1 or 2 moves in the end that determines who wins the battle, honestly. You know, like that confusion proc and me hitting the hurricane. Yeah, that's pretty much what determines who wins. But in any sense, that was a really good game, and thank you, Strax, for accepting this battle. I really did enjoy it, and for those of you that are also watching this, I'm glad that you enjoy watching these videos, and I will see you in the next one. Well, see you later.